The prophets were numerous. The first of them was Adam.
Lut, Ismail, Ishaq, Yaqub, Yusuf,
One time, Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, he stood up among the children of Israel and delivered to them a speech, reminding them about the endowments of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. And so a man said, "O Messenger of Allah, is there anyone in the earth more knowledgeable than you?" And so Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, since he was the messenger of Allah, he assumed that there wasn't anyone who knew anything more than he did. So he said, "La, there is not." And so Allah revealed to him, "O Musa, what makes you know whom I have made knowledgeable? Indeed, there is a slave of mine at the seashore. He knows something that you do not know." And when Musa alayhi salatu wasalam knew of such a man, a scholar, being a lover of the knowledge, he desired to meet this man and learn from him. He asked his Lord to show him that man, but Allah Ta'ala did not show him that man. Rather, Allah told Musa where he could find him. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِفَتَاهُ لَا أَبْرَحُ حَتَّى أَبْلُغَ مَجْمَعَ الْبَحْرَيْنِ أَوْ أَمْضِيَ حُقُوبًا. And when Moses said to his lad, his young man who was with him, that was Joshua, who was serving him and accompanying him and learning from him, what did he say to his lad? He said, "I shall not stop seeking this scholar until I reach the point where the rivers converge, or until I spend an age looking." That's when Musa alayhi salatu wasalam embarked on his journey. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he went on with his lad Yusha, and they took with them a salted fish. Half of it was eaten. They were eating from it, picking from it. And they took with them also some bread. And they went on until they came to the juncture of the two rivers. And it was said that those were the rivers of Persia and Rome. Then they sat in the shade of a boulder in a place close to the seashore. And they put their heads against this boulder and they slept. And at the base of this boulder, there was a spring. It's called the Spring of Life. And this spring comes down like a small waterfall or like a fountain. If it touches anything, that thing would come to life. And some of that water hit that salted fish. And so that fish, it moved and it got out of its container. It was said that they took a basket with them. فَاتَّخَذَ سَبِيلَهُ فِي الْبَحْرِ سَرَبًا. The fish, it took its way into the river, darting away. Whatever it touched on its way, as it scooted towards the water, it froze, stood solid. Even when he got to the water, and then he darted away in the water, whatever water it touched, as if that water just froze or stood as it was. So then Yusha, he woke up and he saw the fish had gotten out of the container. And he said, "I will not wake up the messenger of Allah now. Rather, I will inform him after he wakes up." And then when Musa woke up, alayhi salatu wasalam, Yusha, he forgot to tell Prophet Musa what happened. And Musa forgot to ask him if anything happened. So they went on for the rest of their day and the rest of their night traveling. فَلَمَّا جَاوَزَا قَالَ لِفَتَاهُ آتِنَا غَدَاءَنَا. Then when they went beyond the junction, he said to his lad, "Give us our meal." لقد لقينا من سفرنا هذا نصبا. By God, we have in this travel of ours encountered exhaustion. قال أرأيت إذ أوينا إلى الصخرة فإني نسيت الحوت. He responded, do you know about when we rested at the boulder? There I forgot the fish, and nothing made me forget to mention it but the devil. وَاتَّخَذَ سَبِيلَهُ فِي الْبَحْرِ عَجَبًا. And that fish made its way into the river in a strange way. قَالَ ذَلِكَ مَا كُنَّا نَبِغْ. Musa said, that's what we were looking for. فَارْتَدَّا عَلَىٰ آثَارِهِمَا قَصَصًا. And so they went back following their own traces. And Musa was very happy. And he felt that now soon I shall meet this scholar. So they went back following their own traces until they got back to the boulder. And there they saw the trace of the fish, as if its pathway was like a trench that it left. And it was mentioned that the people of that area, they saw afterwards a new type of fish. Half of it is like a skeleton and the other half is sound. And there Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he found a man wrapped up in his clothing on a green mat, laying on his back on the surface of the water. فَوَجَدَا عَبْدًا مِّنْ عِبَادِنَا آتَيْنَاهُ رَحْمَةً مِّنْ عِندِنَا وَعَلَّمْنَاهُ مِن لَّدُنَّا عِلْمًا. And there they found a slave among our slaves that we have given to him mercy, and we taught him knowledge, meaning Allah taught him knowledge. Allah imparted on him knowledge without a teacher. That's called al-ilmu ladunni. This is knowledge that Allah gives to the prophets and some of the walis. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Is there a salam in this land? Who are you? So Musa said, I am Musa. Al-KhaDir said, Musa of the children of Israel? So Musa said, yes. How did you know who I am? So Al-KhaDir said, the one who made you know who I am made me know who you are. So this man was Al-KhaDir. It was said that he is the direct son of Adam, but he's not the direct son of Adam. He is the son of Malkan. His lineage goes back to Prophet Nuh alayhi salatu wassalam. His name is Balya ibn Malkan. This man Balya, he is the cousin of Sarag, the great-grandfather of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. And if Al-KhaDir, who is Balya, the son of Malkan, is the cousin of Ibrahim's great-grandfather, then he should be very old, right? Because we're saying now that this man is with Musa. So Musa, before Musa was Yusuf by 400 years. Between Yusuf and Ibrahim, there was more than 300 years. So that's at least 700 years between Musa and Ibrahim, and then still Al-KhaDir is before Ibrahim by a few generations. So how did this man live so long? It was reported that Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, when he was on his deathbed, he gathered his children and he said, "Oh my children, Indeed, Allah Ta'ala shall bring a torture down upon the people of the earth. And then he told them about the flood that should come. And he left a will for his body to be carried in the ark, in the ship, at the time of the flood. And that they would bury him in a specific cave that he mentioned for them, close to the lands of Ash-Sham. And so the body of Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, it was with them from one generation to the next until Allah Ta'ala sent Prophet Nuh. And before the flood came, Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, he took the body of Adam on board with him. Then the people of the earth drowned, and then the flood subsided, and Nuh commanded his three sons, Sam, Ham, and Japheth, to go and bury Adam in the place that he left in his will. But they said, now the earth is wild. We must wait until there are more people. Then Nuh said, indeed, Adam, he made dua that Allah would extend the life of whoever buries him until Judgment Day. And then the body of Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, it remained generation after generation until it was al-KhaDir, who finally buried him. And so Allah Ta'ala made him stay alive as per the supplication of his first father Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. But there's another saying about why al-KhaDir lived so long. It was said that Dhul-Qarnayn, he had a friend among the angels named Raphael alayhi salam. And this angel would visit him from time to time. That's how those awliya are. So one time when he, Dhul-Qarnayn, and his friend Raphael from the angels were talking, Dhul-Qarnayn said to him, tell me, how is the worship of you angels in the sky? So then the angel said to him whatever he said, and Dhul-Qarnayn cried. And he said, Raphael, I would love to be able to live long enough to worship Allah as he deserves to be worshipped. So the angel said to him, would you like that? He said, yes. So the angel said to him, indeed, Allah has a spring of water. It is called the spring of life. Whoever drinks from it a drink, his life will be extended as long as Allah willed, and he will not die until Allah makes him die. So Dhul-Qarnayn said, do you know where this spring is? The angel said, no. But we angels in the sky, we speak about a darkness in the earth in which no human or jinn has ever stepped foot. And we think that that spring is there. So Dhul-Qarnayn, he took his army and he split them into two. He took one part and Al-KhaDir took the other part. Al-KhaDir was his advisor. And who found that spring? According to this, Al-KhaDir found it. And he drank from it and he made ghusl from it. And then he stayed alive as long as Allah willed. And he's called Al-KhaDir, that has the letters Kha, Bad, Ra. Those letters are for the color green. Green. So he was called Al-KhaDir because he sat at a spot and that area that he sat vibrated and then greenery grew out of the ground. Moses said to him, can I follow you so that you may teach me from what you have been taught as guidance? قال إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا. You will not be able to be patient with me, Musa. وكيف تصبر على ما لم تحط به خبرا. And how would you be patient with that for which you have not encompassed it in knowledge? O Musa, I have knowledge from Allah that He made me know and did not make you know. And you have knowledge from Allah Ta'ala that He made you know and did not make me know. O Musa, aren't you satisfied with your share that Allah Ta'ala gave you the Torah and that Allah Ta'ala gives you the revelation? And aren't you busy with the children of Israel? So it was said that Allah gave al-KhaDir the knowledge of inward matters. And Allah gave Musa the knowledge of outward matters, meaning that Allah gave Musa alayhi salatu wassalam the knowledge of the judgments of the people's deeds, about the sayings and doings. And Allah gave Musa sharia, law, and ahkam, judgments. So he knows what's halal and what's haram, and what's obligatory and what's not obligatory. His knowledge of that, alayhi salatu wassalam, was superior to the knowledge of al-KhaDir in that. This is what we have learned. قَالَ سَتَجِدُنِي إِن شَاءَ اللَّهُ صَابِرًا. So Musa said, you shall find me, God willing, patient. وَلَا أَعْصِي لَكَ أَمْرًا. And I will not disobey you in anything. قال فإن اتبعتني فلا تسألني عن شيء حتى أحدث لك منه ذكرا. If you follow me, then do not ask me about anything until I mention it to you. فانطلقا. So they went, and they walked along the seashore, and they came across a ship. They spoke to the crew of the ship. It was said that one of the men said, I fear that these men are thieves. And so others said, no, these men in fact shall ride with us for free, for certainly we see light in their faces. So they let them on board, and it was said that they knew al-KhaDir. So they rowed the ship. حتى إذا ركب في السفينة خرقها. And then Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he was surprised when he found that al-KhaDir had pulled out a plank from the ship. And it was said that Musa then he went and he started stuffing that hole with his clothing. قَالَ أَخَرَقْتَهَا لِتُغْرِقَ أَهْلَهَا. Did you breach its hull so to drown its people? لَقَدْ جِئْتَ شَيْئًا إِمْرًا. By God, you have done something strange, or you have done something haram. What's going on? How did you do that? And he said, these people, they gave us a lift without any payment. Then you go to damage their ship? قال ألم أقل إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا. Al-KhaDir said, didn't I tell you that you will not be able to be patient with me? قال لا تؤاخذني بما نسيت ولا ترهقني من أمري عسرا. Musa said, do not hold against me what I have forgotten, and do not make my affair difficult. Be easy on me. Don't prevent me from following you. So then Musa, he went to the side. And when Al-KhaDir did that, nobody saw him but Musa, because this is something that Allah gave Al-KhaDir, that he could be right there and no one can see him at all. Maybe one person might be able to see him, for example. So while Musa and Al-KhaDir were there in the ship and they were talking, a bird came and landed on the edge of the ship. Probably has a name, I don't know the parts of a ship. And then he put his beak into the water. So Al-KhaDir said to Musa, my knowledge and your knowledge compared to all that can be known is like whatever amount of water this bird took in his beak out of the sea. So little. Then Musa and Al-KhaDir, they left the ship. فَانْطَلَقَا. So they went on. حَتَّى إِذَا لَقِيَا غُلَامًا فَقَتَلَهُ. And while they were walking along the seashore, Al-KhaDir, he spotted a boy or a young man playing with his friends. So Al-KhaDir, he went into that boy and took him away and he killed him. قال أقتلت نفسا زكية بغير نفس. Musa said, explain yourself. Did you just kill someone who didn't kill anybody? لقد جئت شيئا نكرا. By God, that's haram. قال ألم أقل لك إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا. Al-KhaDir said, did I not tell you that you will not be able to be patient with me? And it was narrated that after Al-KhaDir killed that boy, he opened up a piece of his body and he exposed some of his bone, and there was engraved in his bone, Kafir la yu'minu abada. Blasphemer, he will never believe. So when Musa saw that, he apologized. قال إن سألتك عن شيء بعدها فلا تصاحبني. He said, if I ask you about anything else after this, then do not keep me in your company. قد بلغت من لدني عذرا. You have reached with me an excuse in my case. You told me already that I wouldn't be able to be patient with you, that I wouldn't understand the things that you do. Now, I have asked you to explain yourself twice after you made it a condition for me to be able to accompany you, not to ask you anything. So if I do that again, then don't keep me in your company. فَانْطَلَقَا. And so on they went. حَتَّى إِذَا أَتَيَا أَهْلَ قَرْيَةٍ اسْتَطْعَمَا أَهْلَهَا. Until they came to the people of a town, and they sought food from its people. فَأَبَوْا أَن يُضَيِّفُوهُمَا. And those people refused to host them. They wouldn't give them any lodging and they wouldn't give them any food. The people of that town were a mean people. فَوَجَدَا فِيهَا جِدَارًا يُرِيدُ أَن يَنقَضَّ فَأَقَامَهُ. And there, in that town, before they got out of it, they found a wall on the verge of collapsing. And it was said to be a very huge wall, one that is very thick, very long, and very, very high. Al-KhaDir single-handedly pushed it up, and that was a miracle on his part. قَالَ لَوْ شِئْتَ لَاتَّخَذْتَ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا. Musa said, those people were very mean to us, and now you just did them a favor. If you wanted, you could have taken a salary for that, and then we could have gotten everything that we needed. قَالَ هَذَا فِرَاقُ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنِكَ. Al-KhaDir said, this is where we part ways. Musa took hold of his clothing and told him, not before you explain to me, what did you do? سَأُنَبِّئُكَ بِتَأْوِيلِ مَا لَمْ تَسْتَطِعْ عَلَيْهِ صَبْرًا. I shall now inform you of the explanation of what you are unable to be patient with. أَمَّا السَّفِينَةُ فَكَانَتْ لِمَسَاكِينَ يَعْمَلُونَ فِي الْبَحْرِ. As for the ship, it belonged to some poor men who worked at sea, 10 brothers, and they inherited that ship from their father. And each one of those brothers had a different handicap. 5 of them were completely unable to work, and 5 of them were able to work. Those who were able to work, one of them had judam, that's a very horrible sickness in the skin. One of them was awar, he's cross-eyed or one-eyed. One of them is araj, that means he's lame, he walks with a limp. One of them is adar, I didn't even figure what that one means. And one of them has a constant fever, never goes away. And he's the youngest one. And the other 5 who are not even able to work at all, one is blind, one is deaf, one cannot speak, one cannot walk, and one of them, he is completely insane. فَأَرَدْتُ أَنْ أَعِيبَهَا. So I wanted to put a defect into their ship because وَكَانَ وَرَاءَهُمْ مَلِكٌ يَأْخُذُ كُلَّ سَفِينَةٍ غَصْبًا. There was a king who commandeers every good ship. So I wanted to put a defect in that ship so that when that king or his officers pass by and find that ship defective, they would leave it alone. And it was said that his name, that king, his name was Hudad ibn Budad. Then after he passed, those people can fix their ship and they will be happy afterwards because they have benefited and they escaped from their ship being taken from them unjustly. And it was said that Al-KhaDir himself, he wiped over the spot after the ship passed by, and by the will of Allah, it returned back fixed as it was. وَأَمَّا الْغُلَامُ فَكَانَ أَبَوَاهُ مُؤْمِنَيْنِ. And as for the young man, his parents were believers. فَخَشِينَا أَن يُرْهِقَهُمَا طُغْيَانًا وَكُفْرًا. And we feared that he would misguide them into transgression and blasphemy, because he was a very bad, mischievous boy. He did many crimes. He would lie, and his parents, they loved him so much that they would defend him. And the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, had that boy lived, he would have misguided his parents and taken them into blasphemy. Because of their love for him, they would have followed him. فَأَرَدْنَا أَن يُبْدِلَهُمَا رَبُّهُمَا خَيْرًا مِّنْهُ زَكَاةً وَأَقْرَبَ رُحْمًا. So we wanted that their Lord would replace for them their child with someone better than him and more merciful. And it was said that that boy's mother was pregnant when he was killed, and she later gave birth to a girl, and that there came from this girl many prophets. These parents, they were happy when their baby was born, and they were sad when he died, and had Allah willed, that one would have misguided them. وَأَمَّا الْجِدَارُ فَكَانَ لِغُلَامَيْنِ يَتِيمَيْنِ فِي الْمَدِينَةِ. And as for the wall, it belonged to 2 orphan boys in the town. وَكَانَ تَحْتَهُ كَنْزٌ لَهُمَا. And beneath it, there was a treasure of theirs. وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا. And their father was a pious man. He is the one who left that treasure for them. فَأَرَادَ رَبُّكَ أَن يَبْلُغَا أَشُدَّهُمَا وَيَسْتَخْرِجَا كَنزَهُمَا. And so your Lord willed for them to reach their primes and then to extract their treasure. رَحْمَةً مِّن رَبِّكَ. As a mercy from your Lord. وَمَا فَعَلْتُهُ عَنْ أَمْرِي. And I have not done any of this on my own accord, O Musa. He's saying Allah revealed that to me. This is evidence that he was a prophet. Not just a pious man, but a prophet. That is the explanation of what you were unable to be patient with.